If clout was water, public humiliation would be fire. It's just not very effective, and Kik is no stranger to weird, degenerate behavior for the sole purpose of clout. The platform's terms of service and lack of rules of any kind in general is conducive to all sorts of degeneracy you won't see anywhere else besides maybe if you go to the weird part of town at 3 a.m. where all of the tweakers gather for their massive overdose group session. Today I was going to talk about Discord, but that train has left the station a long time ago. That happened eons ago in internet time. You see, I was a little bit busy with my actual real life job and didn't have time to make any videos. I also had a request by DJ Souls to do an animation video reaction, and if you also want to be featured in my next videos, make sure to comment down below. Doesn't need to be video related, just do it. The animation video is in the back burner still, but a new juicy piece of drama just came out, so I'm covering it first. It's one thing when adults are the ones behind the degenerate behavior because the internet can point out and laugh at them and say, ha 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 ha, look at the funny guy embarrassing himself for clicks and views. It's another thing when children jump into the mix and start doing it as well, since they shouldn't be on the platform in the first place. For you to be using Kik, you need to be at least 13 years old, and if you are in Europe, you need to be 16. So if you are a newborn, freshly 1 year old, sorry buddy, you can't have your baby monitor live on Kik for 24 hours straight because you can't have children under a certain age streaming. One, because it's weird since there are a lot of malicious people on the internet that can prey on minors and take advantage of them. Two, because if you are streaming on the street, people know where you are all of the time. So if someone with bad intentions sees it, you can say goodbye to your freedom. You're spending the next year locked in a cage in some weird guy's basement. With all of that being said, for some odd reason, there's a new menace on Kik. An 11-year-old child who goes around harassing people on the streets. If his face looks familiar, it's because it is. This is the kid N3on threatened to do all sorts of things and later had to apologize to.
Huh?
So this 11-year-old child is going around and harassing people in the streets as if he's the main character in a video game and everyone else is an NPC. And before you start saying, why are you bullying a child? It's just a child. Are you the next Leafy? Stop bullying children. Okay, I haven't even said anything about him. How can this be me bullying a child? Are you like Dylan from my previous video and you have psychic abilities and can tell what I'm going to say before I even open my mouth? Let's chill out for a second. I know that I have weird voice and a weird ass mic, but I haven't even said anything about the kid. So this stupid little brat who hasn't even started developing his first pubes, I'd imagine still has some baby teeth, as you just observed put his hand on somebody's plate like it's a bowl of mum spaghetti and pulled out a potato. And it was a prank, guys. Just a funny, quirky little haha funny prank. No, this was not a prank. Did that look like a practical joke to you? Kid straight up put his 11-year-old germ-ridden hand all over someone else's food. And if you have smaller siblings or have even been around children, you know how bacteria-filled, icky, sticky, and dirty they usually are. Kids are like petri dishes for cultivating bacteria. When I was a little glue-sniffing toddler, mine were always filled with either boogers, mud, paint, or glue. They were only clean whenever my parents got me in the shower, and that was a rare once-in-a-month type of event. And like, of course that the person that got food stolen from will be mad and retaliate, as we are going to see in a bit. But what can they do? Fight the kid back? Grab him by the ear and give him a stern talking to? Call the police and have him arrested? No! Nothing will happen to the kid, and he will be using that to his advantage. If the adult lays a hand on him, the next time they meet, they'll be separated by metal bars and the adult would be wearing an orange jumper suit. There's nothing the adult can do in this situation. But now you'll say, well, this is the parents' fault. Well, that could be partially true, and there are some parents who just don't care about their children and have no idea of what they are doing during the entire day. You also have to realize parents can't watch over their children 24/7. We have school and sports to keep kids busy, but the current school system is not doing a very good job at keeping the kids in check. And as far as sports go, it's optional, so they can just opt not to do it. These kids spend the day watching their favorite streamers, the N3ons, the Jack Dohertys, flexing their massive wealth, cars, houses, girlfriends, by doing stupid pranks. And so these kids that are the impressionable audiences, they try to replicate it. Do I think that the new generation is ruined because of this new wave of streaming and the bad influences it could have on children? Bruh, hell no! Every generation has its trials and tribulations, the goods and bads. Also, every generation acts and says that they are the current best and the ones before and after are trash, so this is just story repeating itself. I hear my parents and older folk everywhere saying that their generation is the best and how kids nowadays can't do anything right and they are lost. But as soon as you give them a TV remote, you can start hearing their brains frying just to figure out how they work. There are some kids bound to be destroyed by the current generation's biggest lust, like drugs, porn, money, and clout in these newer generations. But that happens with every generation. There are always kids that will be lost no matter how restrictive their parents are. That just means they are less prone. It's still possible. And kids are always getting into all sorts of trouble, doing stupid shit, messing with other children. The difference this time is that they are messing with adults and doing it in front of a camera and for a live audience.
What the Put your hand in my food again, and I'm throwing all of your phones.
Hey, you're not touching our phone.
Don't put your hand in my food again. Do not do that. You don't do that to people.
Here we have the little clout goblin starting their beef with the poor girl who just got her food sexually assaulted by the kid's disease-infested aunt. What the hell can the girl do but try to intimidate the kids? And the kids know it. They know that they're just kids and adults can't touch them, so they just use that to do whatever they want. Cops can't also do jack but to intimidate them. You can't just put a child in jail.
Why isn't it possible? It's just not. Why not, you stupid bastard?
I remember when I was a kid, me and a bunch of friends used to go to eat at the local mall, and one time, one of my friends dared another one to steal a pack of bubblegum. This kid's master strategy was to put the bubblegum in his junk. So 12-year-old bro was packing an absolute missile walking through the store. Needless to say, we got caught. But we were freaking 12! The mall's guard couldn't do anything but publicly embarrass us and scare us, telling us that we were going to jail and the next time we would be sent to the children's labor camp. And we were children. The internet was less prevalent. We didn't know there was no such thing as a children's labor camp and he could not send us to jail. Kids nowadays know that adults are powerless against them. The only thing we as adults can do is embarrass, humiliate, and publicly shame them and their actions. But this kid in particular seems to be immune to shame. It just doesn't care! Little bro's got a big case of clout disease. If public shaming was fire, clout would be water. It's just not very effective. No amount of shaming will change his ways. Just like N3on and Jack Doherty, the numbers speak louder than common sense, so he'll do whatever he wants. Thankfully, Kik banned him for this incident, but there's just no telling how long this ban will last. According to Kik, he shouldn't even be allowed to stream, but somehow he was on the platform harassing adults for some time. So hopefully he stays banned for his own good, at least until he is of legal age. Kids' brains are just not fully developed and it's normal for them to do stupid shit. I, for one, did a lot of it and I'm thankful that streaming was not around at the time. Otherwise, my entire life would have been ruined thanks to a not fully developed frontal lobe. And you can tell that the kid is scared, even though he knows that no one can harm him unless they want to be jailed for life. You can see him when the lady comes up and starts confronting him, and he just instantly starts backing up and creating some sort of distance. He knows that he is protected by law, but even then, every single cell of his body is telling him to run and move away from the angry lady, or else he risks a monumental beating.
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Stop filming me.
You're a nobody. It's a live stream. We can't stop you.
Who the f are you?
Who are you?
The fear is tangible. You can hear Kid's voice starting to break. Who do you think you are? You're nobody. Bruh. You know that Omi's scared shitless, but he still presses on. He must do anything for Cloud and for his incessant need for viewer maxing. All they care is how many people know them, how many ears are glued onto them. So if you hold a respectable job in society, you're a nobody. God forbid that regular people contribute to society in a normal way. What? You're a small cog in a massive machine that keeps society running and people like me get to enjoy it? You're a nobody! You can tell straight away this is a childish take. As soon as you get a job, you realize and start giving value to people who hold normal jobs. Even the once seamless, useless cashier starts looking like a respectable person. Because if not for them, you wouldn't be able to be running around engaging in tomfoolery with your buddies. And I can't fully blame him. I was a kid once. I never harassed adults, but I did some bad stuff. He just spends his days watching his favorite streamer Jack Doherty, so he copies the behavior and becomes a prank streamer harassing people like they are NPCs on Elder Scrolls. His parents are not always home or breathing over his neck to see what he's watching, so some things are just bound to slide under the radar. Hopefully they found about this behavior and ground him or something like that. Maybe a ban from Geek isn't enough.
Give me the phone. Now you're not touching my phone. Touch my phone, I'm gonna actually do something. Are you gonna beat me up? Back up. I will. I want to know. How old are you? 5? Do you think I give a fine? Do you? All right, hold up. Do you? Don't do that again. Hold up. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Let's go.
That's basically the video. The kid just runs away because he's scared. He's not touching the girl either. He hasn't even started puberty yet. His voice is still undistinguishable from a girl's, and it's not like those cracking voices yet either. So chances are that if he throws a punch at her, he's just the one who's actually getting hurt because his bones are still too soft. He's basically all talk. You can just see him cussing at her and running away at the same time while he does so, like he's a dog barking at a scooter. You also have his equally small and prepubescent friend acting like a bodyguard and trying to intimidate the girl, but it's just not working. Now imagine that they did this to a roid rage 300-pound monster with nothing to lose. Just imagine, bro and his bodyguard would have been turned into a big bold lettering in the cover of some random newspaper. I'm glad that he got banned. This was for his own good and protection. These kids are still too cognitively undeveloped to rationalize what bad stuff can happen to them if they cross the wrong people at the wrong time. One bad person is enough for these kids to become past tense, so it's just not worth the risk having them running around with their cameras filming people. If their parents can stop them, if sports don't tire them, if schools can't contain them, at least have the platforms try and do something to mitigate the damage and stop the kids, because they sure as hell are not ready to be on the streets doing these kinds of stuff and acting like adults. So leave a like if you've liked the video, a dislike if you've disliked the video. Comment down below if you think that children should not be allowed in streaming platforms and harass people on the streets. Subscribe if you are new to the channel and want to see more content like this. And I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new upload. Bye bye!